My bad if I look a little sloppy. I just came out the shower because I remembered that I forgot to make a video about the Pacers going to the finals, which I said I would do. I was celebrating so hard last night. I had a football game to play. I left my pads at the field, and I forgot to come and make a video. So I was just like, my mind was in just a whole different place from where I actually was. Like, I went through all series of emotion. It was crazy. It was like, and this isn't even the NBA championship. This is just the Eastern Conference championship. It was like the emotions didn't really hit until as the broadcast was ending. That's really when the emotions hit for me, because I just thought back to everything. Because y'all know I've been a Pacers fan my whole life. I was born a Pacers fan. I didn't choose this. I didn't make some type of conscious decision, like this is the reason and that and this and that. I don't even remember when I became a Pacers fan. I've just always been a Pacers fan. There was no thought process to it. I was born in Indianapolis. The Pacers are in Indianapolis. My dad would work overtime to get us tickets to go to Pacers games. Been going to Pacers games since I was a year old. Usually go to once a year when I can afford it, once or twice a year. It just always was. And I remember asking my mom, like, why am I a Pacers fan? Like, my favorite color is green. Couldn't I be a Bucks fan? We like the Tigers and the Red Wings. Couldn't I be a Pistons fan? Why am I a Pacers fan? And my mom was just like, your dad took you to games. You're from Indianapolis. You're a Pacers fan. I was just like, yeah, that makes sense. You're right. Never questioned it again. And you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. Whether we're winning, whether we're losing, I'm always going to be grateful to be a Pacers fan. Just because there's nothing like Indiana basketball. From the high school level to the professional level, there is nothing like basketball in the state of Indiana. There's nowhere that can replicate it. There might be places that do it bigger, but there are no places that do it better. I am about to spend an unhealthy amount of money on Indiana Pacers finals merchandise. Especially if, I'm not going to say it, I don't want to jinx it, but if it happens, I'm going to go crazy. It's going to be absolutely wild. This video will not be so calm, and I will not forget to record. And no offense to Knicks fans, I'm not saying Knicks fans don't deserve this, but the difference between the Knicks drought and our drought, I feel like is two different things. The New York Knicks, while they are a well-run organization now, they have not been in the past. You have not the best draft picks in the world, some pretty bad trades, and some really bad free agent signings, along with some not so great coaching hires. They just have not been the most well-run organization in the world. In the 90s they have been, as of recently they have been, but between that time period where it was the mid to late 2000s up until Carmelo Anthony, and even when Carmelo Anthony was there, just not the best decisions were being made by that front office. And for as much as they talk about New York being such a big city and they have all these resources, you would think that team would be a lot better, just on a consistent basis. Whereas the Pacers have routinely been a playoff team. They have contended in the 90s, in the 2000s, in the 2010s, and the 2020s. The only decade where they were not a consistent playoff team that made runs to a conference finals appearance would be the 80s. So from the 60s in the ABA days until 2020, with the exclusion of the 80s, the Indiana Pacers have been a contender. Whether the national media consider them that or not. Because you had in the 90s with Reggie Miller. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Magic, went to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks. The 2000s, obviously 2000, they made it to the finals. You also had the team that lost to the Pistons, should have won the finals, should have won a championship, but then the Malice at the Palace happened. Then you did have the end of the 2000s was a downturn for the Indiana Pacers. All we had to look forward to was Danny Granger. Then the 2010s. Pacers go to 2 Eastern Conference Finals. one of the best teams of that era. Possibly one of the best teams, along with those Reggie teams, to never win a championship, with Roy Hibbert, Lance Stevenson, George Hill, Paul George, David West, Luis Scola was on that team, Orlando Johnson, Chris Copeland, Jan Mahimi, Danny Granger until we traded him, unfortunately, and then got Evan Turner and Andrew Bynum. Those were not the best decisions. And then now the 2020s, coming out of some of the worst years in Pacers franchise history, even though it only lasted for a year or two. They were pretty bad. An unexpected Eastern Conference Finals run last year where we get swept. Barely get swept. And then this year, we go to the NBA Finals. So I'm not trying to say that the Knicks don't deserve this. I'm not trying to say that we are more tortured than Knicks fans. But what I am saying is that the Pacers, more than any other organization in basketball, have been this close to an NBA championship and have consistently come up short. Maybe the only franchise I can think of off the top of my head is the Phoenix Suns, with Steve Nash in them. This franchise, this organization, and these fans have watched year after year as this team has come up short. And there are so many painful moments in the playoffs, in the regular season, injuries. There's been a lot of bad moments. There's been a lot of sad moments. And now we're here. 4 wins away. I'm not going to say from what. 4 wins away. So all we need to do is win 4 games. Obviously, I'm nervous. We haven't played the best basketball against the Thunder. I'm not confident at all. I'm going to have to watch this through and see what the heck's going to happen. Because this Thunder team is one of the only teams that has been able to really figure us out. And they played us in the spring when we really came on as a team. Both the times they played us were 0-2 against them. It was in February and it was in March. So this one might not be fun. This could be a sweep, 100%. They could sweep us. We could lose in 5, 6, 7. I'm really hoping that with the momentum and the energy and everything that they're bringing, that will be able to put them over OKC. Don't know if it's going to happen. I don't even have a series prediction. I don't want to have a series prediction. This whole time I've been trying to put winning a championship out of my mind and just focus on the series at hand, game by game by game, because I don't want to get too ahead of myself. Because I've been hurt before. It's going to hurt if we lose no matter what, but I've gotten ahead of myself before and it hasn't turned out well. And one of the reasons I think we lost Game 5 was because the Pacers got too ahead of themselves. They weren't really locked in. So we just need to focus. And yes, it is we, for those of you saying. We, you're on the team, supported this team since I was born. I've watched almost every single game of every single season since around 2015 when we finally were able to afford cable. So yeah, it's we. They're here. It's here. It's right there. It is right there in front of you. So what are we going to do about it? That's all there is to it. What are we going to do about it? Are we going to be intimidated by the Thunder and their record and everything? Or are we actually going to go out there and take it from them? That's all there is to it. That's all I got to say on it. Let's get it.